Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Mr. Fix-It channel. In this episode, I'm going to bring my antique lathe into the 21st century. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is my Logan Model 210. This lathe was made in the 1940s. So that makes this lathe around 80 years old. It works well. It does have some wear in the ways, but for me, it's plenty accurate enough. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to treadmill swap this lathe. DC motor and a speed controller. Plus it's going to have reverse. So I'm going to hand make the pulley out of scrap. I'm going to make the motor mount. I made this box. Here's the MC2100 treadmill speed controller. Sorry, it's kind of dark in here. And also the control unit. I made this box from scratch. So let's get into this.
I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just kind of staring at the wall.
So the shaft on this motor is tapered and it's got threads in the end for a bolt to hold the pulley on. This is the flywheel. I do not want to use this flywheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a pulley with this taper on it. I believe this is a Morris 2 taper. I can't find a pulley that has a Morris 2 taper shaft hole in the middle of it. So I'm going to take this lump of steel and I'm going to attempt to make my own pulley for that motor with a number 2 Morris taper hole in the center. So let's see if this will happen. Don't pay any attention to the noise in the background. That's just my stove. It is December and it's cold, so I gotta stay warm. That's turning too fast. I gotta slow it down even more. Okay, let's try this on the motor. That's a nice fit. Ooh, can I get it back off? Uh-oh. Well, that fits on there good. I made up this little mandrel. This is just a shaft out of another motor that I didn't need for anything. So I cut the same taper as this on there. I've got this spacer and this nut clamping it down. That's going to hold it. Alright, after all that screwing around, let's see how it runs on the motor. Looks pretty straight to me. So I salvaged this from the treadmill. This is the engine mount. I cut it off of the floor or base or whatever it was welded to. I got this plate steel here. I'm going to cut out a square and slot some holes, and this will be how I mount it to the lathe. Alright, there's the motor mount plate. Got it all welded up, got the holes drilled. Should be pretty good to go. My lathe has 2 positions here on the counter shaft. It's supposed to have a 2.5 inch by 5 1/4 inch stepped pulley here on the motor, so you can switch between these 2 speeds. I've only got a 2.5 that on the motor I've been using, and I just made that other pulley, which is 1 7/8 inches. So here's the pulley I made. I have a chunk of 3-inch round. I'm going to make a 3-inch pulley. So I'm going to stick this in the lathe and get this turned down, bore a hole out, and I'm going to press that into it, and then I'll stick it back on the mandrel and turn the other pulley groove. So let's see how that goes. Alright, let me try to press these together. Alright, let's see how it spins up on the motor here. Well, I think I messed up. I was playing around with the reverse switch. I accidentally flipped it in reverse while the motor was running, and now all I can get is this. That's it, it won't do anything else. I think I fried the board. And I burned out the MOSFET transistor on this board. So don't do that, bad. I ordered new MOSFET, but it hasn't shown up. It's been 2 weeks and I need to get this project moving. Well, that took quite a bit of work. Let's see, this goes this. Well, look what finally decided to show up in the mail. Ha, figures. That's my dude right there. This is an IRFP 250N MOSFET transistor. Alright, on the back side of the board, I'm just going to desolder this MOSFET. Now I can finish soldering this in from the back side. Alright, everything's back together, wired up, power's turned on. I got the red LED. Now before, the LED would just stay lit. It wouldn't flash or do anything. So now I'm going to turn up the pulse width. And now the motor's working. You can see the LEDs flashing. Now the question is, how do you stop it from doing that again? If you accidentally flip the switch, okay, so I got the box mounted on there. The motor sitting up there. Got all my controls hanging out here. I wanted to put all the controls right here, but with this switch and all the wires, it's going to take up an awful lot of space. I may think about moving the switch, the reverse, down here to the box down here. I won't be using it that much, so maybe that'll be better than all this. There, that makes a lot more sense. Made this little guard for the reverse switch, just so nothing accidentally flips that and blows my board again. That would be fun. Okay, here's this all done. I got one more piece to make for the controls up top on the lathe, so let's get into that. Alright, here's my control box. Man, that took a lot of work. Alright, let's see if these parts fit. Yeah, that fits in there good. It's a little crooked. I didn't video any of this, but I did put a shroud and a filter over that cooling fan to keep chips from being sucked into the motor. Alright, let me see what the new top speed is. Before it was around 1700. And click this thing on. See what we get. So the highest RPM it got to was 2,577 RPMs. Wow, that's like 800 or 900 RPMs more than I had before. Okay, I swapped all the belts around, got this thing in back gears. Let's see what the slowest speed is. Ooh, I don't think my RPM meter is going to read that. Not unless I put 20 reflective strips on there. Alright, let me get a stopwatch out. Alright, so I got a little blue dot there, and I lined it up with that reflective strip. I'm going to try to do this with two hands the best I can. I got my stopwatch here. So let me see if I can do this. Started. See how long it takes to come back around. 30 seconds. Yeah, I cut that out of there. I'm sure you guys didn't want to watch 30 seconds of this thing going around. Alright, so it takes 30 seconds to make one full revolution. That's 2 RPM, right? Alright, I got a little piece of stock and a chuck here. Let's crank this thing up and see what happens. Man, that is a nice smooth finish on that. Kind of hard to show on camera, but that is a really nice surface finish. It's better than I've been able to achieve. I find a lot of uses for this variable speed on this. This is going to be nice. It seems like it runs a lot smoother. Yes, I think this is a win. And another handy feature here is I got reversed. Which this chuck threads on, so I got to be real careful using reverse on this lathe, but I do have a few reasons to need it. But I got it, but I won't be using it a lot. I'm running my pulse width signal through the diode in this switch so that it lights when I turn it on. You can see how it flickers, and as I turn up the speed it gets more intense. So what I found out about doing that is the switch, the diode in the switch is grounded to the body, so I had to isolate this switch from the box. But I thought that was cool. Hey, if you guys made it all the way to the end of this, thank you for hanging out with me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.